I got a lot of questions about the derivatives case that we just lost. The judge would have taken us more seriously if people had just sent in that they didn't want the derivatives case to be settled. But because we didn't, we have now precedent for the board of directors potentially doing the same thing again by selling the commercial units down here for the low amount of $500,000. And they say, they can't be used because they can't have functioning businesses running out of them. But the courts have ruled against that. And all it would take to get those commercial units open again is for the board of directors to agree to the proposal that they had come to an agreement with in 2007. In the meantime, they've spent about $1 million in legal fees. At the time when they decided to bring this appeal, BMI won from the Supreme Court of Florida that they are entitled to punitive damages because what they have suffered was egregious. Won that. Our board of directors decided to appeal that. At the time that they decided to appeal that, we had about $20,000 left on our insurance. Now the appeal process, the beginning portion of it, like one motion was about $10,000 or $15,000. Then they lost that. They put in more documents, they added things. In the meantime, I would think we probably, if we're lucky, have $60,000 left of that insurance money available for this court case. And that was with traveler's insurance. And you can look up the policy, or you can email me and ask me for it. So what do you think our board of directors is going to do? Are they going to start a settlement process knowing that their chances of losing this case is pretty high? That they don't have the money for fighting it? I mean, our board of directors likes to spend our money pretty freely, and our insurance claims have gone up and all sorts of stuff because of their mismanagement. My opinion, right? Okay. But they're running out of money for the legal fees. What's going to happen since they insist on continuing this nightmare and fighting BMI? Who's going to pay those legal fees? How are they going to be paid? Especially since we have our big building project not complete yet. We don't know what work we're going to have to do here. Looks to me as though the seawall was not repaired but simply covered up. That I'll get into another time. We have EELS. We have $1.5 million in elevators to pay for. We have insurance and other things that we're just not collecting enough money for. Who's going to pay those legal expenses when the insurance runs out? Now, there is a $15 million umbrella policy on that traveler's insurance, and I do not believe it is allowed to be used for legal fees. If it is, then you better hold on for a long ride. But wouldn't it be better to just re-agree to the stipulations that you made in 2007? And yeah, parking, I'm telling you, that's already been handled in a court of law. Go deal with the stipulations. Save those commercial units to use as part of a settlement and move forward. And just understand that, you might want the restaurant, you might not like BMI, but in the great scheme of things, is it really worth tearing everybody's finances apart for this? If BMI ends up getting $15 million from us, where will it come from? But we already will owe them more than $15 million because we could owe them as much as $67 million. I don't know. I did not come into the Brick McMahon case thinking of any side. I didn't want to learn a damn thing about it. And it took me 4 years. 4 years of slowly hearing about stuff, and then when it piqued my interest, I would look it up. I would look at the court cases. I would look at the evidence. I would look at the recordings. I would look at people's depositions. So if I were you, I would ask the board of directors about this traveler's policy that was dated 2006, 2007. Ask them how much is left on it, how much they've spent, and what their plans are going forward. I know that when people speak to John Middendorf, he says, oh, that's going to go away. That's going to be nothing. Okay, it's nothing. You've paid $1 million for nothing? The lack of communication is almost as bad as the lack of responsibility. Okay, there'll be another one coming.